Fog Wrestling is ready to stand and to deliver. Welcome back to the channel. We're here to review Wwe Nxt 27th of February 2024 edition of the show. And yeah, did I botch in the preview and call it stand to deliver instead of stand and deliver? Absolutely, I did. I can't deny that. I absolutely botched, but here, did this show deliver? We had returns, we had jobber matches, we had some half decent segments, but in terms of starting this show, we did have Carmelo Hayes and Eli Drov. I buried Eli Drov in the preview, the Eastern European jabroni. You know, he is a jobber. I can't stand the guy. He's in the ring talking pish. Carmelo Hayes is out, like on the, what do you call it, the rampway, whatever you want to call it. He's out in the rampway. Then you've got all these like security guards, and it turns out Carmelo Hayes has hired them. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, I'll do it later on tonight. Then we cut to our first match. We have Kanana Jordan taking on Kiana James. Did this do anything for anybody? This match, Kiana James won. I touched upon in the preview, it's like you've got two almightily similar sounding names. Kanana Jordan, Kanana James. It is, you know, like, I mean, there's been names that sound the same in the past, I guess, but to me this one just stood out like a sore thumb, to be brutally honest. But anyway, let's move on to our next match, because this match just, you knew Kiana James couldn't lose, and I know you have certain I use the term stars loosely, but you do have certain people that shouldn't lose, and is Kiana James really one of them? But I just like the unpredictability of wrestling, man. But I see when you were a kid and you watched it, you didn't fucking know who was going to win. Even Cena, like, you still went into pay-per-views thinking, oh, big match John could lose here. Idris Inoue and Malik Blade. Before we get into it though, shout out to Booker T. He did return to commentary tonight, and yeah, I mean, I don't think Byron Saxton's that bad, I'll be brutally honest. I don't think he is. Buried the guy in the past, but he can do a job, can't he, big Byron Saxton? Or as some people call him on here, Brian Sex Addict. Don't know what the stories are regarding that, but yeah, good to see Booker T back, absolutely. But then we have the Good Brothers, and I don't know, like NXT, it has this gimmick of just bringing down these guys that have failed constantly on the main roster or in other companies, and then just, I think it just should be for like the development. Doesn't change the fact I think Baron Corbin's did a good job on NXT, but and etc. But the Good Brothers, like, they're just a bunch of jobbers, man. Nothing but a bunch of absolute jabronis. Then have the Good Brothers that are walking backstage. They run in to the Wolf Brothers, or the Wolf Bros, or whatever the hell you want to call these guys these days. They're kind of bashing each other. It was funny when AJ Styles slapped you last week, wasn't it? Or a few weeks ago, whenever he did it. And they're like, oh, well, you're cute because you've got little leather jackets and all that good stuff. So it was kind of funny seeing like both of them, both groups bash each other in here. See the OC, right? They're absolute jobbers. But it's like, if you book them correctly, I think with like Luke Gallows, like they've, you know, they could be alright. But I don't know, like it just seems like every like 18 months they bring these guys back to team up with AJ Styles, and it's just shite, man. It's honestly abysmal. It's actually cringy that this is what they do every 14 months, man. Shocking, absolutely shocking. Because see, you look at the past, man, there's some people like, you look at Scott Steiner, for example. He came in, he was red hot, had the 2 matches against Triple H. Yeah, did they stink out the joint? Absolutely. But the guy could have still been pushed in a massive role in WWE for like the next couple of years, but he got jobbed into a feud with Test, and he just felt like an absolute mid-carder. He did. And it's like, you look at WWE, like, I think over like the past decade, there's so many people who are shit, and they've attempted to like repackage. And I actually do not understand why they have, to be perfectly honest, because, you know, there's like Jeff Hardy. I know he's kind of unreliable, but it's like bringing back Karrion Kross. It's doing nothing every time. It's boring. It's absolute. It just sucks, right? Can't spin it any other way. Karrion Kross is a jobber. It's like, what's that guy? Not Mansoor. The other guy, the Indian guy they hyped up for each week, and then he came back for a week and disappeared. It's like, why? Why put effort into things like that? But in the past, you've buried guys that, like, it makes no sense to bury. Don't understand it. We then have DJack taking on some guy called Luca. DJack wins. I like DJack, so you know, DJack's a guy who looks like a star. This guy could easily be upper mid carder. Like, I like this. This guy's better than Gunther. What? You're saying this guy's better than Gunther, big titty slappy Gunther, man? What? I mean, DJack wins. I like DJack. Push the guy in a prominent role, please. I say please. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you. But the Luca guy, he then gets scouted pretty much by the family. You have Tony D telling Stacks, you know what? See that guy, he could be good for the family. And I think to be called the family, I think you need more than 3 members in your group, which consists of 2 guys and 1 woman. Now, yeah, when they're at the restaurant, do they have like other family members? Yeah, but you know, let's be honest, they're not there every week. They're not even out there when they wrestle. It doesn't really feel like a family, man. So for me, I would change that up. We then have Kelly Kincaid doing an interview with the big man, Noam Dar. Up backstage, we've got Obafemi sitting there talking to Ava Raine. It's good. Ava Raine's not receiving any more death threats. Not the Cody Crybabies. I've got the dream match at WrestleMania. Embarrassing troops, absolutely, and frickin' embarrassing. But yeah, Obafemi's like, I don't care. Don't know why I'm doing an Eastern European. You know, I don't mind who I face. My name is Obafemi. And, yeah. Eli Drov comes in. You want to go one-on-one with the great one? They know these accents, it's not really working, is it? Eli Dragunov, though, he says to Eva Raine, we need to talk. We then cut to Chase University. We've got Tia Hale still getting some of that dating advice for Jasmine Nxt, and who's the other person called? I can't even remember. JC Jane. I think the best woman going in the NXT at the minute is JC Jane. Probably followed up by Tia Hale, I don't know, I just think that Chase University have got it to a T about what they're doing, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, their segments are alright, and it's weird though. It's like, I think all these dating things and treating NXT like it's like a college, like, you know, it's for like youngsters, young adults, I think it's actually a good concept. But then when you're bringing people down like the Good Brothers, right, like Baron Corbin, does it not? I think it kind of loses a bit of its appeal, to be honest. We then have Roxanne Perez taking on Jakara Jackson. Again, it's like, you just know Roxanne Perez is winning this match. It's just, and I don't know, I think when you know who someone is winning the match, then why does it need to go like 12 minutes? You get me? Like, see, back in the day, like on Raw's War and all that stuff, the same amount of hours you do in NXT. And see the matches, the guys got their stuff in because, you know, they were professional athletes and proper wrestlers and actually knew what the fuck they were doing. Yeah, Roxanne Perez wins, but see, back in the day, man, people got their stuff in without having to have these abnormally long matches. It's like Dynamite or Collision, like sometimes they kick off with 30-minute matches, like, honestly, like with no heat whatsoever, like just nothing. Like, obviously, I mean, it's wrestling 2024, there's not much heat, like someone's forgot to turn the heating on, to be brutally honest. But it's like, you know, long matches only work if you're invested in the story, right? See, when you've got these Iron Man matches, it's because there's a story. Wrestling fucking marks today seem to think that if you've got a long match, it automatically makes it a great match. It doesn't. I mean, some of the TLC matches only went like 14 minutes, but look at the amount of stuff they got in, you know? So it's not about the amount of time you're wrestling, man, it's what you can actually get in, done, in the space of what you're giving it there. I mean, if you can't get what you need to be done in 5 minutes, I think you're not doing your work as a professional wrestler. Weird segment between like Tatum Paxley and just a bunch of women, man, and then like Ridge Holland interrupts it, and it's like, right, he's like, oh, sorry ladies to interrupt, I'm happy about all yours, but what about me? What about Ridge Holland? And then out of nowhere comes a returning Ty Dillinger, but of course he's kept his AW name. He's now Shawn Spears. Just another guy. It's like, yeah, you know, he's only been in WWE once, he's been in AW for a number of years, but this is just a guy that doesn't belong anywhere near wrestling. He's a jobber, and that's not to say, you know, there's not a million other people in wrestling at the minute that don't belong anywhere near the company, but like, what is this guy doing? Like, honestly, like, this guy's came back here and people are pretending that it's like, it's massive, like it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Is it really? Ty Dillinger, Shawn Spears, like, what's he going to do? Just another guy that's like 40, going to be taking time off youngsters that are actually good. don't grasp this, don't get it. The guy sucks. I'm not going to change my opinion on it. I mean, it's pretty much. I mean, is he going to commit the Rumble next year as the perfect 10? Like 8 years after he did it originally? Come on, folks. Wrestling's dead. We need to wake up and smell the coffee. Really, really need to. With Femi and Jens and then get into it in the car park, but again, there's not much really happening here. It's two jobbers. Camille Hayes then says, if you're not out there with a contract, Ava, then no Mello. But it's like, Mello's acting here like he's The Rock, and I like Mello. But, I mean, could NXT not just get another replacement to fight Eli Drov? Like, is that really at the question at this stage of the game? Not quite too sure why this guy's absolutely greeting about this, but anyway, don't really understand it. Wagner then defeats, Lexus King. Again, I talked about in the preview, this guy came in with a pretty good vignette. He ditches the name Brian Pillman Jr. It's like, okay, that's a pretty big move, considering that's a half, it's pretty much the only reason why you're relevant, so okay. And then he's done nothing but job it since then, alright? I actually like Mr. Stone and Von Wagner. The wee psychiatry sessions. I mean, not quite Tony Soprano, but here, I'll take them. But that's just, I don't get Lexus King. I do not get Lexus King winning this match, or not losing this match, sorry. We then cut backstage, like a Kabuki Warriors, like hype package thing. I didn't really get this, to be honest. Arana Grace then comes in and she's like, oh, no one's taking my wisdom. And she was in the kitchen making pictures earlier on Twitter showing off her arse. We then had Joe Gacy attacking DJack. Like, come on, guys, can this feud not just end? Joe Gacy's a jobber. I actually thought their match at the last pay-per-view was brilliant. I actually really enjoyed that match, but come on. We then have Gigi Dolan against Jada Parker. Jada Parker wins. Gigi Dolan gets shafted again. She took to Twitter to cry about this. When I logged into Twitter this morning when I woke up, and she tweeted something like, I just can't even be bothered anymore. And I thought it was going to be something to do with the fact that she wasn't on the show. Turns out it's in kayfabe, but I mean, Gigi Dolan's a jobber. It is what it is. It is what it is. People need to wake up, man, and smell the cup of tea, British front garden, as some Americans think the British speak, even though we're all different. Alright, we're Scottish, not British. Kind of went on a wee side tangent there. But yeah, I mean, this match just doesn't do it for me. Gigi Dolan, I mean, JC just kind of rebuilt herself with Chase University, but see, for the most part, like, they have been absolute jobbers, especially Gigi Dolan. They were tag team with Mandy Rose, felt on top of the world, and now they feel like absolute jabronis. That's what it is. Can't deny it. Can't deny it anymore. Then had like a Soul Ruka vignette before it was our main event of the evening in terms of match. And of course, what did we have here, folks? We actually had Charlie Dempsey defeating Noam Dar, which I was absolutely shocked about. He beat him 2-1 for this Heritage Cup. Again, I just scrap this Heritage Cup, man. I really, really would. I think it sucks beyond belief, to be brutally honest about it. And then we had a Shawn Spears promo. I just don't rate this guy. I don't know why he's back in the company. And to be honest, I'll never really understand that. What's he going to do? I mean, he's NXT, folks. Like, what's so special about that? What I thought was a pretty good main event segment. We had Carmelo Hayes, Tony D, and Eli Dragunov. So it looks like we are going to finally get Tony D in World Championship action for the NXT title, which I'm looking forward to. That's what it's set up here. It was a good ending to the show. I actually thought NXT this week was actually alright. I mean, I blasted it for being so predictable, but then the Heritage Cup did change hands, but I don't care about that. I'm going to give NXT a 3. We gave Raw a 2.5. NXT's beat it. Will Dynamite beat it tonight? I'm not too sure. You can hear birds chirping. They're happy about it, at least here on Fog Wrestling. But until next time, peace.